I'm your host, Locum23. You're joining me for Court of Nightfall, Chapter 8. But my grandfather's dead! There's no way the Chancellor could be my grandfather. Jack sits at his desk chair, swiveling slowly. He leans back. When your parents went to the hiding, they cut off most of their ties with the orders, including your grandfather. Templars kept secrets, Scarlet, at all costs. You notice you standing in shock. He stands up and touches your wrist meekly. Your parents took an oath to protect the crystal weapon. What should I ask? Ask if he knows me. Have I ever met him? No, I don't think so. Your parents were in hiding for a long time. And how do you know all this? He flashes his ring. Night of the 4th. I did some digging once I got archive access and looked up both our families. There are 9 levels in the Knighthood. I've heard stories of knights training for 20 years just to reach the 4th circle. I wonder what he did to get such a high rank so quickly. It must have been amazing. I'll drop it. It's not my business. What he does, I'm just a civilian. Jax drops his armor pieces off by one, revealing your best friend, just as you remember him. Normal. I'm gonna go get us some food. I'll be back in a bit. Help yourself to anything. You walk to the bathroom and see yourself in the mirror for the first time in days. You tremble slightly at your own reflection. You look tired and worn out. I know the feeling. It's not as bad as I thought. It's worse. You peel off your clothing and drop the pieces into a waste basket by the toilet. Really like that outfit, too. You remember to grab the token of strife, your father's ring, as well as Evie's memory chip. Your hands are numb. You look for a place to hide your treasures and decide on a tissue box on the sink. You look back into the mirror. Your skin is covered in cuts and bruises. The bullet wound is almost nearly gone, barely leaving a scar. I know I healed a bit fast as a kid, but healing a bullet wound within an hour sounds impossible. But it's not impossible. The crystal gave my life, or saved my life, and it gave me something else. You tug on a long strand of hair, rubbing away from a bit of dried blood. I can't look anymore, not until I've cleaned up. You turn the water to the hottest setting until steam fills the bathroom, and step into the warmth embrace of the shower. Circles of bloody water fill the drain. You wash your hair until nothing but clear water remains. Scrub your skin until it nearly peels off your body, and you collapse to your knees. The tears stain your cheeks, hotter than the shower, and you sob heavily into your hands. You don't hear Jax come in, but he pulls back the shower curtain. He pulls you close, fully clothed under the running water. The hug is tight. Tell him to leave. I'm naked, Jax. Get out. Sorry. He gets out of the shower and grabs a couple of towels. He leaves one on the floor beside the curtain. You really should buy a girl dinner first before you go barging into her shower. Sorry. Jax leaves the bathroom, throwing some of his wet clothes into the hamper before moving into the dorm room. The sobs finally subside, and you can feel your breath returning to you. You turn the shower knobs until the water stops. Grab your trinkets from the tissue box. You put the clothes Jax gave you on and leave the bathroom. He looks at you from his bed. I'm sorry, sir. I love them. I miss them too. It's alright. He pulls a strand of wet hair away from your cheek. I should have been there. I didn't even know monsters like that still existed. We thought knights killed them all years ago. They wouldn't blame you. I don't blame you. You couldn't have stopped the Nephilim. No one could have. But I will. Someday I will. Jax heads to the bathroom, and you hear the shower turn on. He's only gone for a few minutes. He walks out of the shower half naked with a wolf pendant hanging around his neck. He's more muscular than I remember. He throws you a brown paper bag and sits across from you on the bed. Some food. You need to get your blood sugar up. Thanks, I'm starving. Take a bite of a turkey sandwich and nearly spit it out. Oh, I think this meat is bad or something. It tastes like ash. Jax takes a bite of a sandwich and responds, his mouth still full. Seems fine to me. Mouth closed when chewing, please. He sticks his tongue out, still half full of food. Gross, you're the worst. Reach into the bag and find an energy drink at the bottom. Open it and down it all in one gulp. Huh, I never really liked these before. Once you finish eating, you both sit and regard each other in silence. I want to know everything Jax knows. About the weapon. Jax, what was the weapon? What were my parents defending? I don't think I should be the one to tell you about this. Please. I need to know. Alright, I'll tell you. Years ago, before we were born, your parents found some sort of weapon. Information in the archives just call it the weapon. Rumor has it that whatever it was has the power to change the whole world as we know it. Something huge. The Council knew it was powerful, destructive, wanted to use it against the Nephilim. Your parents argued against them. After a long battle, they won and went into hiding with the crystal. Your father was originally charged with guarding them. And when I became old enough, I was charged with guarding you. Why didn't you tell me? Same reason as your parents. You deserve better than this. Life. It's not what we thought it was when we were kids. Shake your head. They were my parents. Of course they never told me anything. But you were my best friend. We shared everything. They made me take an oath. They swore me to secrecy as soon as I started training. Clenched his fist, he reached for his hand and he takes it. What was the weapon? Only the Council knows. A knock on the door interrupts your conversation. Before you react, the Grand Master from the Council enters. He seems cold and calculating and sends shivers down your spine to look at her. Excuse me, Sir Lux. The Council has determined that we need to examine Miss Knight. Is now a good time? Normally the head of the hospitaler would handle this, but there were scheduling conflicts. I've stepped in. She won't even look at me. Alright. But you should ask her yourself. Her eyebrows raise in shock, and she coughs, a smile softening her stern expression. My apologies, that was rude. And do you mind if I examine you, Miss Knight? You've taken quite a beating. I'll nod and agree. Okay, but Jack stays. Of course. Jack sits at the desk. She asks you to lie down on the bed and examines your hands. Your cuts were much deeper, weren't they? Yeah, I guess they were. I thought as much. There's some deep tissue tearing, but everything seems to be healing quite well. She lifts up your shirt. Jax gets a little flustered and turns away, as he hasn't seen all of you today. She pokes at the remnants of the bullet wound in your chest, healed over. They just look like tiny divots in your flesh. What caused this? Lie, I don't trust her. I think it was a rubber bullet. I fell unconscious before I could look down to see. Interesting. They might have had low-level shock troopers instead of just soldiers. Excuse me. Shoulders. Okay. She opens her mouth to say something, but Jax whispers in her ear. Her eyes widen and she nods. Well, for someone who almost died, you're looking remarkably well. Stay hydrated and let us know if you experience any fatigue. Without skipping a beat, she pulls a syringe from her pocket and sticks it in your arm. She smiles. Ow, hey! We'll be running some blood tests to be safe, but you seem healthy enough for me. It takes a minute, but she finishes drawing blood, stores the vial in a small bag, and heads for the door. She stops and looks at you, a melancholy expression on her face, her eyes softer than before. I am truly sorry for your loss, Scarlet. I was close to your parents when we were younger. They were good people, and they will be missed. With that, she takes her leave. I never realized how many people here might know my parents, but it makes sense. They were knights for years before we were born. It's only natural. You stand up and grab Jax's jacket. I'm too full of questions to sleep. I have to get home and check the bunker. Whoa, Star, you can't leave. Why not? It's the middle of the night for starters. Besides, the investigation is still going. They're gonna take a while combing your place. Demand you get out of your way. I'm leaving, Jax. Get out of my way. Star, I can't let you leave. It's too dangerous for you to go home. Just try and stop me. You wanna fight? Let's do this. Oh. You head out the door and through the hallway. As you reach the end, two guards grab you before you can walk through the door. Let me go. He soldiers. The Chancellor steps forward, his walking stick clicking against the stone floor. I want to go home. I'm not suspect of anything, and I have legal rights. I'm a citizen. You can't keep me captive here. Humor me for a minute, child. No, there is just a tiny little tear. under his left eye. Give me a few moments of your time before you trapeze out of here barefoot in the middle of the night. If you answer me, I'll provide you an escort to take you anywhere you wish to go, and a pair of shoes. You wiggle your toes on the cold stone floor. I'm listening. The Chancellor waves his hand, and the 2 guards vacate the hall. It is important that I tell you that I am your... My grandfather, yes. I already asked Jax. Your face seemed really familiar. Oh, okay. I thought it was the other guy. I was like, damn, he's... I swear I'd been planning a tearful... As I keep having a tear run down my left side. Your reunion in my head for 2 decades, and now it's ruined. He shakes his fist to the sky like a cartoon villain, laughing as he does. I'll have your head, Jackson Knox. Forgive me for not being more bubbly, Chancellor. I've had a rough night. Indeed you have. Tell me, what is it you want, Scarlet? What is it I want? It's the truth. I want to know what happened to the weapon. I have to find out who killed my parents. The Chancellor nods. The expression on his face is blank, but his eyes seem determined. Ah, of course. It would seem I asked the wrong question. What will you do? With what? The truth? Depends on the truth. I'll find the Nephilim. I'll find the monster who killed my parents and make him pay with his life. I suspected and hoped. You might say that. Let me train you, Scarlet. Let me forge the sword that would avenge my daughter's death. You gasp. Suddenly a dream, kept close to your heart for so long, is within reach. You'd make me a knight? A Templar? Like you? Like Mom? Dad? You'd have to pass the trials, and that would be the only start of your journey. But yes, I'll consider a full scholarship. Nepotism has perks, you know. He winks. How did my parents become knights? If it's a long story, if you stay, you'll get some answers. I need to get back home. My whole life is there. All my memories, everything I have left of my parents. You'll be allowed to return home once the Inquisition has finished their investigation. And how long will that take? About 3 days. When they leave, I promise you can return. Alone, with my father's airplane. Very well. Alone, with your father's airplane. I assumed Marcus taught you to fly. Yes, I wanted to be a pilot, and even took a test for my license. Did you pass? Shrug. Somehow it doesn't matter. Your old dreams, your old life, it's not real anymore. After your trip home, you'll return, yes? You'll train with me? It seems too good to be true. Knights are like superheroes. I hadn't even met any high-ranking ones before my parents revealed themselves. An offer like this is unheard of, and I'm not sure I can trust this. But he's my grandfather, and his eyes are so kind. I'll shrug. You shrug your shoulders and try to seem nonchalant as you casually address one of the most prestigious knights in history. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. Either way, it's my decision. And you can't keep me here. The Chancellor barks out a laugh. Indeed, Scarlet. That I can't. I do hope you'll return shortly, though. We've much to discuss. I'll come back to the castle, Vianney, after I go home, if only to hear more about what all this will mean for me. New recruits are called initiates. To become a full-fledged knight in training, you would need to pass the initiate trials. So while you do have some time to ponder your decision, I'd say to choose sooner rather than later. Choose. Choose. Remember the dream? The Chancellor walks away, leaving you feeling like a fire has been lit inside you. You burn with purpose. Choose. 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 That's all I'm thinking right now. Something tells me when she goes back home, she'll be faced with the other decision. With that being said, I hope y'all did enjoy the video. Feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. Head on down, description below, links to social media, our Discord, and a few links to support me and my content. Without further ado, I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace!